Hello everybody!
Hi!
Welcome back to another video. We are Sean. I'm Sean.
We are Sean.
This is Sean.
That's
this is
Sean.
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
And today we're going to come at you with a video about the pros and cons. The pros and cons of being a personal trainer and everything you need to know, but primarily the pros and cons of being a personal trainer. Yeah, let's get started, shall we? You may be wondering, why should you listen to me about personal training? Now,
I am.
Kelsey is. The question is, why would you listen about being a personal trainer? So I've been training now for about two and a half years. I have about a few thousand hours of personal training experience under my belt. I've worked for a large gym. I've worked for as an independent contractor, and now I employ myself as a personal trainer. So I've done kind of pretty much everything you can do as a personal trainer, and experience the highs and the lows, and I'm going to explain to you a few of those things. So let's get into it. First thing that I want to talk about is, first thing I want to preface everything with is, being a personal trainer is a wonderful career. I wouldn't trade it for a thing. It's very rewarding, and it's a very unique opportunity to work with people and help them become healthier and live better lives. So it's a profession that I highly recommend to people. However, there are things that I wish I knew going into the profession, things that I can continue to still learn about it, and things that are, the pros as well. So we're gonna talk about all of that stuff. Let's get started with the cons, because it's fun to talk about the cons so we can talk about the pros. So the first thing, in no particular order, is it is a challenge to get started in this industry. Typically, what I would recommend you to do is go work for a larger gym. Go work for a big box gym, Planet Fitness, LA Fitness, one of those things, one of those gyms. What that will do is that will give you reps. That will get you better and better at becoming a trainer. Now, typically what will happen in one of those gyms is they will set you up with all the new members. You'll get a chance to sell them on doing personal training after you kind of guide them through what the gym is like and everything like that. Now, the other thing those gyms will give you is a lot of time on the floor. You will be getting better and better at sales. Okay, now sales, we will talk about later, is the backbone of this profession. You are a salesperson now. Remember that. If you're not good at selling, you need to become better at selling. It's a skill you can get better at.
Would you recommend that people do that while they're a student, or starting out in a career? So say someone's in college, they're interested in it, and they're like, hey, let's try it out, like working for a gym like that.
Yeah.
Part-time. Okay.
Oh yeah, big time. Definitely do that. That will give you a massive advantage coming out of school, because you will already have some members. You'll already have a base of clientele for yourself to work from, and it will develop skills that will become vital to making this a career going forward. So yes, absolutely. If you're in college, go get a part-time job. Granted, if that is going to be detrimental for your education, or you just don't have the time, or whatever it is, don't do it. But if you have the time, absolutely go do it. You will be thanking yourself after you graduate, saying, oh my God, I have a massive leg up from if I didn't do that. So definitely do that. So yes, to answer your question. So moving on, the cons of working for a larger gym. The cons are, they take all the money, okay?
Not all of it.
Not all of it, but they take a lot of it. And their reasoning is, hey, we're providing you with the space, we're providing you with the equipment, we're providing you with the members. You don't have to do anything else but train and sell, okay? That's sell your packages and train your clients. That's it. Now, that means they will take anywhere between 50 to 70%. Very common number you'll see is 70-30. So I was making right around $30 per client, and I was also, I had multiple jobs a few years ago. I was making up to 40, 45, depending upon the situation I was in. But the larger gyms typically pay a lot less. You can actually expect to be making $20 per hour, or even less than that sometimes, depending upon what gym you're at. I hated being a glorified cleaner, and that is really kind of what you are to get started in these bigger gyms. I'm sure I could have stuck it out, but what was happening is I was always also working at Orange Theory at the time, and I was making much more money doing group fitness than I was working at a bigger boxy gym. And so I just decided, you know, this route of working in this particular gym with their setup on how you were going to get clients and the hours on the floor, it was not something that I felt I wanted to continue to do, and I just wanted to pursue another option with personal training and growing my business or working for another company, which is ultimately what I decided to do. So yes, that is a massive con. Massive con. I mean, you're a cleaner, and that's just what you do for hours on end. You're cleaning equipment because these gyms are employing you on the floor, and they're paying you not very much money to do that, because in their eyes they're saying, hey, we'll actually pay you to get clients. But if you're not good at selling yet, you know, you have to approach clients on the floor. Sometimes they'll give you clients, you know, their intro sessions, but if you're not good at selling yet, that is a challenging thing to walk up and kind of cold sell someone on saying, hey, I'm Sean, I noticed you're doing some back squats here, could I help you on this? Oh, and also I want to sell you on personal training.
And I don't think it was the cleaning that you minded, right? Because, you know, like those jobs, it's a job, right? And that's what you have to do, but it was that whole like, I have experience in this industry.
Yeah.
I'm here. So it's a really good starting place, I guess I would say.
It's a great starting place.
Yeah.
That's a really good point, Kels.
Yeah.
For me, I already had years of experience in the industry.
Yeah.
I started working for this gym because they had a great reputation-ish in the city where I'm from. But you get in there and you realize things are a little different than kind of what the reputation says, right? So
yeah, and what you were hoping. You wanted more hours with people.
Exactly.
Right.
I just wanted to personal train people, and
Yeah.
that really wasn't happening. I'm sure if I stuck around, were some people, some trainers at the gym making good money. And so I'm sure if I stuck around for a year or two, right, things would happen just like most jobs.
Yeah, it just wasn't the path for you.
It wasn't the path, it wasn't the timing was bad. So anyways, let's move on. I've kind of covered a little bit about the next con that I am going to bring up. Your guaranteed income is low. In fact, your guaranteed income as a trainer is zero. You get to a gym and you don't have any clients. You have zero guaranteed income for training. Now, there are certain gyms where they deliver a base pay while you're there, like what I was just talking about. You clean, you do front desk stuff, you do other things, because these gyms recognize, hey, these people need to make money. They've come here to work for us, but if they don't make any money, this doesn't work out. The numbers don't work. So some gyms will say, hey, we'll pay you $20 an hour as a base pay, and that's a good deal. I would take that deal if you are coming out of school. Now, if you want to make more money, you have to be training people. So if you want to build your own clientele base as your own self-employed person, self-employed trainer, that's the way you make money in this industry. You can work as an independent contractor, sometimes make more money as, say, as an employee of a larger gym. But again, guaranteed income is zero unless you find a nice situation where the gym is paying you decent money to work at the front desk, to do other things around the gym, as kind of a supplement to the training income that you are hopefully going to make in the future. Take that job as a college student coming out of an undergrad degree. Or if you just got a certification, right? You don't have to have a certification. Again, another pro we're going to talk about going forward. You don't have to have a college degree.
You have to have a certification.
You have to have a certification.
To clarify.
Get a certification. You don't want to do this without certifications. So anyways, take that job. It's good. That's a good, $15 to $20 per hour. If you're not training, that's great. It's not very common. Okay. So it's not a very common thing. Usually you have to have some experience for a gym to be paying you that amount of money hourly to be there. If you don't have an experience, again, go to LA Fitness, go to Planet Fitness, go to these big gyms, get a lot of reps in, because you're gonna see a lot of people, you're gonna talk to a lot of people, you're gonna have to sell people, and just get better at being a trainer, because that's gonna ultimately serve you very well going forward. So let's move on. Landing clients is not easy. Becoming a salesperson and getting good at that part of the job takes time, just like becoming a good trainer. Now, that part is arguably more important than becoming a good trainer, because guess what? If you can't sell, you can't train. You don't have a clientele base if you don't land your clients. So You need to get good at selling. You need to research selling. Find someone who has a bunch of clients, talk to them and say, hey, what's your skill here? How do you get all these clients? And see what they have to say about it, listen to them. Having a mentor, having some people who are in the industry guiding you on how to develop a clientele base, and also keeping them happy is incredibly useful, incredibly important. In fact, I'd argue it's the backbone of the career itself. So become a good salesperson. If you're not good at selling, potentially be a con, okay? So yes. Next thing, another con down the list is going to be you are competing for space. Now, I have run into this issue in my current job more so than, say, if you're working at a bigger box gym. I work out of a CrossFit gym. Those CrossFit gyms are group fitness styled gyms. They are built for group fitness. They're not necessarily designed for personal training. That means from 8 a.m. to 12, you will be trying to figure out where you're gonna go unless your CrossFit gym has a dedicated personal training area, which is kind of the situation that I have right now. But you still run into space issues, even at the bigger box gyms, because a lot of clients want to come in at the same time. Humans are humans. They have jobs or they have times they want to work out. That time tends to be from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a nice break in the middle of the day, and then you start up again from 4, 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8. So your hours are sporadic. That leads me into another point. Your hours are sporadic. That is just going to be how it goes as you get started. You will be working from the morning, you take a break in the afternoon, you work in the evening. Unless you find a few people. Nowadays with work from home, it's a lot easier to find people who will be able to train in the middle of the day. But again, be prepared to be a shift worker if you're just training. Okay, so if you decide that you want to work as an employee in the gym, cleaning, front desk duties, other stuff, you will have hours that you can fill during that middle of the day, just being on the floor, being an exercise kind of technician at the gym. So training hours are split usually. Sometimes, once you develop your clientele base enough, you'll be able to kind of mold that schedule into what you want it to be, which again is potentially a pro. The flexibility of the times that once you have a clientele base that you want to work, you can decide that. You tell them, hey, this is the time I have open. And again, that leads into another pro of flexibility. So again, as you can kind of see with a few of these cons that I'm listing out, they can be turned as pros whichever way you look at it. It can be on one side of the spectrum or the other. But getting started is typically when you'll see these cons be true cons. Let's move on. So clients are unpredictable. Humans are unpredictable. You can be the best trainer in the world. Typically, if a client drops off, you need to look at yourself, ask yourself if there's something you could have done better in that scenario why did that client drop off? Sometimes you'll do such a good job that person is now empowered with information, knowledge. The goal is this, by the way, people. The goal is to empower your clients to say, hey, now you have this information, you have the motivation that you have intrinsically, extrinsically, whatever it is, and you can go off into the world and be a healthier version of who you were when you came in.
Basically, they can take the knowledge and go do it themselves, right? They don't need you anymore, which is, it is the ultimate goal of
That's the ultimate goal, right? You
Is-
want to see people prosper. You want to see them flourish. And if you were a part of that, that is amazing. That's the reason why you get into the job.
It depends though. Some people do just want to be with someone to work out and be told what to do. I have a couple of clients like that who are like, just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I think, give them the tools and
give
take
them
them
tools. Yeah, give them the tools. Do not hold back on the information just because you want to keep this client coming back because you need to keep making money. That's why being a salesperson is so important. That's why having leads is so important, because you will see a revolving door with your clientele base if you're doing a good job. Like Kelsey said though, some clients just love. One thing you'll realize about this industry, a lot of trainers have information, they have knowledge, okay? But the reason why people are successful is because of their person, who they are as a trainer. People want to be around you and they want to feed off your energy. Yeah, it's important, it's incredibly important to have an educational backbone in this industry, but they just want to be around you, right? That's what I've noticed is the most important part of this job. You got to be able to sell, get them in the door, but remember that if you are not curious about people, if you are fairly
introverted,
if you're introverted, this job isn't necessarily for you. Okay.
I would classify myself as more of an introvert.
Sure, but you also have the skills necessary to be extroverted enough to be good at this job.
Yeah, I think if you're an introvert, you just have to be wary that your energy will be drained fairly quickly because you have to be on all the time,
That's
right?
a good point. That's a great point. Yes. Okay, let me rephrase kind of what I just said, right? She's right about that. Introversion, if you're an introvert, you can do this job, but remember that you will be drained very fast.
So that's a con.
Because I'm actually slightly introverted myself, right? I need time by myself to charge back up. Okay, let's keep moving on, shall we? We have talked a lot about the cons.
Why don't you give them some pros?
Let's talk about the pros.
We can always come back.
Yeah, let's talk about the pros.
Yeah.
So now that we have gone over the cons, we are going to follow up with a pros video.
Splitting this up into two. Part two will be the pros.
The pros. So go watch the second video about the pros now that you've seen the cons.
Thanks. See ya.